So now we're going into part 3. And this is about a boy and his dog. And how does he feel about what's going on, with his dog? And so we're seeing a person who wants to do the right thing that is fair and right to everybody else as well, seeking inner wisdom, doing something about something that was disappointing, and thinking in terms of creative ways of handling it, spiritually very much at home, right? Like, when I'm with my dog, I came home. Love, emotional commitment, and the body had to go, what am I going to do about this? But I need to be in control of I got to take care. This is like Four of Pentacles, micromanager. Okay, got to take care of the details of everything. So what does this person want? Right? What does this owner want? Well, he wants things to get moving because there's some potential here that is not being met. So let's just get things going, right? Just to get things smoother and to focus our energy. That goes right along with the Magician. Got to be focused, and we got to get something done. Got to take care of business. What needs to be mastered to get that to happen? Okay, so these two positions are totally related. What do you want? What do you need to get what you want? So what does he need to get that thing flowing and moving? The Queen of Wands. Okay, Queen of Wands. Okay, the way that I go about teaching the court cards, right? Because here we have the Queen of Cups and we have the Queen of Wands. Both of them feminine cards. Both of them having to do with internalizing, right? Because I'm looking at things from the level of what is masculine, what is feminine, what is internal and what is external, but also feminine to masculine. Feminine is more internal, masculine, like the king or the knight, very active in the world, right? Being visible, being seen. When it comes to the feminine cards, the queens, they're much more internalized energy, especially when you take a look at what about the Queen of Swords, right? Whew. I mean, she's like, don't mess with me anymore because I've had enough and I'm not getting, so when something is that intense from the inside, because that's an internalized energy, then the movement comes from inside. Whereas the King of Wands is totally different. He's going, hello, I'm out here. Let's go for it. But the Queen, okay. Anyway, so here's the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is saying, just be a master of this. Okay, mastering. It means you already do it, but you may not be doing it in a way that serves you. Does it serve you to get what you want, to get things really moving and really focused and going for all the things that you want? Well, this is saying that you may be very good at doing the Queen of Wands, quietly going about taking care of things, just being like a backstage mama, just kind of take care of this. This needs to happen. That needs to happen. But what we really need to do to master this position is to know when to speak up, when to come out and say something. So to be fair, is it right for me to come out and say something? Like, I didn't like that, or maybe we should do this, or, that kind of thing, because the queens have a tendency to go internal. And they're very much taking care of business from the inside, which also fits into the Hermit, a very internalized kind of energy. To master the Queen, we need to be able to play both sides. So that means also speak up and also express yourself, because as a Wands, express yourself as well. Because you may be tending to be more on the quiet side just to kind of take care of things, when actually we may need to actually speak up and get things going on a whole nother level, which is integrating the outer world. What is the karmic lesson here? So the Six of Wands totally matches this, because the Six of Wands, what is the karmic lesson? The karmic lesson position has to do with, this is something that has been going on for lifetimes. And that also means that, well, then let's master it this time. The Six of Wands is saying we need to work together with people that are very harmonious with us, and also helps us to feel success, because it is a success with the help of friends. This is integrating other people, not just doing things by ourselves as the queens would, right? But this is having to integrate other people, to work with other people, to work together so that we can all create something better. And that's the karmic lesson of this situation at this time. Now let's take a look at the recent past. A lot of juggling. Okay, so that could mean going to work and coming home, or having to work in walking, the dog, or and then having to get job done. But this is a juggling card. Okay, minor arcana, our work. Major arcana, the stage set for me to do my minor arcana work. Present time, another 2. It's funny, there are 3 2s in this reading here. There's only 4 in the whole deck. We look for these patterns when you're doing readings. Two of Swords, it's like, well, what am I going to do? If I do this, then this is going to happen. If I do that, this other thing's going to happen. Or if and so it's a very stuck kind of a place. Before, there was an effort to at least juggle everything in. But with the 2 of Swords, it indicates that there is some kind of resistance that may be taking place where I can't do as fluidly as I would like. It's a kind of a stuck place, which could easily lead to this sense of disappointment. Well, why couldn't it be the way that it used to be? Now I've got to do it like this, but then if I did it like this, but then this would happen. That's what the 2 of Swords feels like. It's a stalemate card. The future. Clarity is going to come. Okay, another major arcana. There are flows of consciousness shifting that is taking place about this whole situation because of how many major arcana are showing up here. So there are things that are going to come where it goes, oh, I get it, because the star has to do with a realization or a kind of a, okay, I get it. I now get all the pieces, and now, I don't know what to do yet. We'll see. Because that's where you can pull out future cards. But as this is going so far, it leads into a very, very deep major arcana sense of getting it. Like, yeah, I get what's going on now. I see the truth. So, because this is a reading about a dog, the outer world position, right here, the outer world position, is about the dog. Oh. So the dog feels totally like, yay, I can be myself. I can be anything that I want, right? I don't have to limit myself. I can. So there's a relationship of absolute support that this dog is feeling from the master or the owner here, that is really, truly doing that which is right for the dog and what's fair for the whole situation, and passionately in love, and wanting to do the right thing. Okay, so how does the dog then perceive, right? Looks at the owner. Okay, that's the mask position. That one is right here. Okay, the mask is where the outer world is looking at the person we're reading about. So the dog goes and sees that, oh, well, my master is pretty much taking it easy. Well, yeah, what's the dog going to know, right? He's okay, he's resting, when actually he may be working like crazy at home, right? And so it says, yeah, and okay, I can see he's just kind of hanging out, that kind of stuff, right? Whereas for the master or the owner of this dog, I'm trying to keep everything under control. I want to do what's right. I want to do that which is my personal truth, and I want to be creative, and I want all things that are possible to happen in this relationship. So how do we come out of this reading? Okay, that's the last card that we can pull. And this would be, if you're doing a reading for somebody, this would be the last card, meaning how they feel at the end of the reading, which is different from the future. The future is a further out, down the way. This card here is about, well, how does it sound, to the person that I'm doing the reading for? Well, the Page of Swords, and that's covered in the court card lessons. Page are very young, and And young energy is about learning and it's about messages. It's about, let me learn to think about that. Or, well, I don't like what I just heard. Or, well, there are some things that I've got to think about because the swords energy is very cutting, very uncomfortable because it's kind of a worked up kind of a, because we mentally work ourselves up. And we drop into our hearts, even when we're worked up in the head, when we drop down into our hearts, we experience it totally differently. But this is saying that, well, we come out of the reading with a page, young, message of swords. Okay, there's some things that I'm thinking here that I need to really consider that are not comfortable things to think about. Because this is oftentimes the card that has to do with bad news, right? Or I didn't want to hear that. Or I'm up to thinking about something that kind of is disturbing, right? So that's what the Page of Swords is about, right? It has that kind of disturbed kind of feeling, but it's not like the Knight of Swords, right? The Knight of Swords is like, that's like totally pissed. This is kind of like a niggle, this is like, oh, okay, all right? So learn the cards, they are like people. They are, they are feelings and states of consciousness that all belong to you. This is about you're learning about basically 78 parts of yourself. And then you combine them in all these different ways so that you can learn about yourself and you can learn about other people. And in learning about other people and understanding what they are going through, we can have a lot of compassion for them. We can understand, so that's where they're coming from. Because so much of our communication with our relationships and stuff is about convincing them that I know what's better. Or that, hey, they better see it this way, otherwise their life would be better or whatever. And what we really need to do first is to let them know, I see you. I understand you now. I understand you according to where you're at. And that will oftentimes allow a person to relax and say, wow, I don't need to defend myself against your thoughts, against your ideas or your judgments. You mean you actually are seeing me. You get where I'm coming from. And as a reader, you may not agree with where they're coming from, but at least you can understand what's going on inside them and what kind of makes their motor run. Why are they driving like that? Because when we put ourselves in their shoes, it's much easier to come from that compassionate kind of place, which is what creates a more peaceful relationship with other people. So, see you in the next one.